Alrighty, y'all. Good morning. Happy November 24th, everybody. We're going to get this started here in a second. But we're going to be doing a bit of a morning update for everybody. That way we can get y'all up to date with the latest weather and stuff. But, good morning, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Having a great morning so far. Let's see here. Alrighty. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. What's up, Chief fan? Saying, any snow for West Virginia? Good morning to you. So it is possible. It is a possibility. We're keeping an eye on it. We're still kind of monitoring the latest guidance and stuff like that. Obviously, West Virginia, we just received quite a bit of snowfall. Let's see here. So it seemed like the latest GFS is kind of mostly bringing rain to the region for you, and then kind of showing a little bit less snowfall with the latest GFS runs. However, overall, the other models aren't really picking up on that. They're more picking up on heavier snowfall. The latest GFS shows a lot of rain, for West Virginia and stuff like that. Probably not a lot. But then you got Euro. Euro still mostly showing West Virginia in a bit of rain. Now afterwards, one of the main concerns is going to be lake effect snow. As that system rolls through, depending on how much snow it brings, it will actually bring down a lot of cool air, which will kind of roll over the Great Lakes, which will basically just generate a lot of snow, towards the areas of the Ohio Valley. Now there is a little bit of snow. That possibly could occur from this system on the backside, according to the Euro here. But we'll see. We'll see. Nothing's really clear for that area quite yet. Let's see. Dragonfly says my daughter is rock climbing in Chattanooga. Awesome, awesome. Good morning, Tom. Hope you're doing good. What's up, MP? Let's see here. Good morning from Michigan. Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Come on, Euro. Let's go. Yeah. Euro's not playing around with this guy. And now, like we mentioned in the title, I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but there actually might be some severe weather associated with this too. Probably out there towards Mississippi and whatnot. Here, let's go ahead and bring up our other page here real quickly. What's up, Rodney? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Let's zoom this in a little bit. It's kind of a little difficult to see here. Do that. Let's see here. I guess I can hold it there for a minute. So whenever it comes to the models here, which we'll go ahead and load up the GFS. So I was actually looking at this yesterday on the stream. There might be a brief moment here where we have instability that builds into the southeastern U.S., for areas out there by like Louisiana, like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and stuff like that. So there could be that moment where we have instability, which, could associate with possible severe weather. Now, the unfortunate thing is that's for the 28th. That is literally for Thanksgiving. So not only are we dealing with possible winter weather here, but we also might be seeing some severe weather out of there as well. Let's see here. Lower level jet is not anything significant, but we do have some pretty strong mid-level winds, which could really allow for some organization of those storms to occur. Let's look at dew points. Yeah, so dew points here in the mid-60s. Good supply of moisture. So yeah, honestly, when it comes to it here, if this did play out, this possibly could be a severe weather event. Once again, this is for Thanksgiving. Literally for Thanksgiving, we might actually be seeing possible severe weather out there. So we'll keep an eye out there for those regions there too. It's not really just a winter weather thing. It's also kind of a mixture of both worlds. Severe weather in the south and snow in the north here overall. What's up, Peachy? Hope you're doing good. let's see here. Watching from Ohio, go Bucks. What's up, my friend? Hope you're doing good. See, Rodney says I got my I can't even talk this morning. Snow blowers tuned and oil changed. Need some snow to test them out. Got you, my friend. Sounds good, dude. Glad to see you're prepping for it, you know. But yeah, so that's Euro's opinion. You know, really shows that strong low. I mean, that low possibly getting up into the lower 990s, maybe upper 980s there. That's considered a pretty strong low out there. And another thing that could also be a concern would be those strong winds, like pushing against the coastline. You know, it could bring in some you know, some strong winds too. That's something that low pressure systems do tend to do. If they're strong enough, you know, due to the motion of them, you know, that those winds could be pushing against the coast, which could also cause some swelling and some of that water to kind of push towards the coastline. So that is a possibility. Let's see, we're gonna hop to CMC here. So this is the CMC model. CMC showing a little bit less snow for areas like, you know, the Mid-Atlantic, mostly just remaining rainfall for you guys. But then CMC starts to build into some snow, possibly out there more towards like upper New England, you know, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, some of those areas really picking up a little bit of snowfall. See here, Peachy says today is cold. Yeah, it is definitely pretty cold. Here in Florida, it's actually cold too. We got down to 45, I think we got down to 45 today, which is pretty crazy. Let's see, MP, dude, thank you, man. Coming in with a $5 donation. Thank you, dude. Saying thanks, Andrew. MP, you're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for your support, dude. That means a lot to me. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, dude. Big shout out goes to you, MP. If there's anything I can do to help you, if there's anything you want me to look at, feel free to let me know, y'all. But thank you, MP. That's really sweet of you, man. Big shout out goes to you. What's up, Rebecca? Hope you're doing good. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at with that. Let's see here. We looked at CMC. Let's look at Icon here. Zero Zulu Icon. So yeah, Icon also shows that storm. Actually, that low being a bit stronger according to Icon. That central low down to 985. That's, yeah, once again, that's a pretty strong low pressure system there. You know, we'll have to watch out for some of those coastal areas, you know, maybe towards like Cape Cod. You know, some regions out there could really deal with some strong winds associating with this storm here. Let's see here, but for Cape Cod and stuff like that, it'll be warm enough. You guys probably won't see any snow, you know, towards like coastal areas, you know, near like New York City and, you know, areas out there by like, you know, Boston, Massachusetts, and you guys will likely stay in rain because, you know, you got that warmth from the water, from the ocean here. It actually warms up the air. The warm ocean water actually warms up the air a bit, keeps the air a little bit warmer. So that warmer air is going to be kind of across the coastal areas of New England, keeping it warm enough to where there's not going to be any snowfall. The areas that are likely going to be dealing with that snow is going to be, you know, likely those interior portions there. And then, like I mentioned afterwards, I think we're going to have a real big problem with lake effect. So I really want you folks out there towards, like I said, you know, northeastern Ohio, places out there towards like northwestern portions of, you know, Pennsylvania and like western New York State. You guys will probably have to really watch that. MP, dude, coming in with a $10 super chat, man. We broke our goal. Holy cow, dude. MP, thank you, man, for the $10. I appreciate that. That's the first goal I think we ever broke in here. Thank you so much, MP. That's really, really sweet of you, man. Big shout out goes to you, dude. Thank you so much for your support. That is really, really sweet of you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, MP. Big shout out goes to you, dude. Very, very nice of you, man. Yeah, Peachy, it's very cold here in Florida. Actually, it's a little warmer now. Let's see, my station says 60 right now. It's a little bit warmer, thankfully. It was 45 though this morning, which is ridiculously cold for Florida. Once again, MP, thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. Good morning, Brad. Hope you're doing good, dude. So yeah, and like I mentioned, one of the big concerns I think is going to be lake effect snow, regardless of what this winter storm could bring here. Like I mentioned, severe weather will also be a concern on it. Also, winter weather could be an issue as well. But that cold air that just rushes down. So, like we mentioned previously, these low pressure systems spin counterclockwise, which brings up a lot of warmth from the south, brings down a lot of cold from the north, and that cool air that rolls over the Great Lakes. Since the Great Lakes are relatively warm, that cold air goes over the warm Great Lakes, which then condenses and just generates heavy snow, in which we can just continue to have several hours and possibly several feet of snow that could develop along some of the coastal areas here, like northeastern Ohio, like western, New York State, and like maybe northwestern Pennsylvania. You guys honestly should probably monitor that very, very closely overall. Yeah, we'll definitely be monitoring that. And like I mentioned, it's not necessarily just the GFS or anything like that. I mean, here's Euro. Euro showing that heavy, lake effect snow behind it too. GFS, you can see showing it there as well, just kind of lingering. And of course, other models like Icon, you can see Icon supports it too. And then lastly, we got CMC showing it as well. So it's really all the models. It's not just necessarily one model, but it's also like it's multiple models. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, that's a lot of support suggesting, hey, we might actually be seeing some heavy lake effect snow. This will be after Thanksgiving here. Like I mentioned, we have the main storm that rolls through here. This is going to really kick off between the 27th, going into the 28th for Thanksgiving here. More than likely, the way that things are trending right now, it'll more than likely just be a big rain mess for the mid-Atlantic and stuff like that. Possibly generating some snow at some point, towards like maybe the Ohio Valley up into interior upper New England here. And like we mentioned, also there's that possibility where we could see maybe a bit of severe weather, as we do have growing instability, does bring in a lot of unstable air, which could lead to some severe weather out there. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, like I said, regarding the possibility there for not necessarily only winter weather, but also a bit of severe weather as well. Let's see here. MP says you do a great job. Thank you so much, MP. I appreciate your support, man. Once again, thank you, dude. Big thanks. Can I check on Central Illinois? Yeah, I got you. Actually, yeah. Let's hop to the Ohio Valley in the Midwest here for a moment. We'll talk about the impacts out there. So CMC, kind of suggests a bit of that precipitation working its way towards the Ohio Valley, as you can see here. Honestly, not necessarily anything significant from CMC. Let's see here. Then we got an Icon, which Icon shows kind of the same thing, keeping a lot of precipitation to the south. Not necessarily much for the northern portions of like Ohio and stuff like that, and also Illinois, for the Illinois area. A little bit of snow on the backside could occur, but honestly, it wouldn't be anything impressive or anything like that. GFS here, let's see here. So the latest GFS shows, really not a lot of anything for Illinois, really. Honestly, yeah, Illinois is probably going to be relatively good. Probably not expecting much of anything crazy. Now, I will tell you this. You'll probably get some cold air coming down from the system here. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Wow, y'all. Look at this. Look at this big cold shot. So the blue is representing everything below freezing, essentially, okay? So look up north. Let's actually move the region up here to... Actually, I can't move it any further. Okay, let's just pan our camera over there. So if you look, some of those temperatures, according to Euro, could breach the negatives up there towards, like, North Dakota, in the negative 10s, potentially. And you can see that, we're going to be very cold. I mean, seriously, in the teens and the single digits in Minnesota. This is for the day after. This is for, the day after Thanksgiving, the 29th. This is for the morning commute. So, I mean, look at that. Look how really cold this could get. I mean, this is really, really frigid. Also towards, like, the Ohio Valley, could definitely be a little chilly there, too. especially for the second night. Look at that, breaching in the teens and the 20s out there. Very, very, very cold. Super, super cold. Let's see here. Have a good day, Andrew and everyone. You too, man. Thanks for joining, Brad. Appreciate it. Any snow coming for the Midwest? Good question, my friend. So here, let's zoom out just a little bit. So regarding the Midwest, honestly, not really anything expected crazily. Maybe a bit of precipitation out there for the 27th could start to roll in, as we do have a low pressure system that kind of develops out there towards, the Rockies, going into the Central Plains. That'll kind of work its way up here to the Northeast, as you can kind of see developing into a decent storm. Would it bring snow for that area? Probably not. Unlikely. It's just not going to be cold enough, really, I don't think. Yeah, so honestly, I don't think you're going to see much out there towards like the Midwest area in general. But, obviously whenever things eventually, go to that direction later as we get further into, eventually into winter, we'll let you know about it. Obviously, we'll be covering all of the weather here, but yeah, it doesn't look like you're really going to see much out there, my friend, unfortunately. I know you want your snow, but doesn't look like it, my friend. Doesn't really look like it as of now. Let's see here. Can I check the far eastern of central Illinois? So, Isaac, we just looked at Illinois just a minute ago when you wanted me to look at it. Like I mentioned, Illinois is probably not going to see much of anything. This threat here for this in particular system is going to be more of a concern for like New England in general, and maybe portions of the Mid-Atlantic. Like I said, just depends on what model you kind of look at here. Actually, there's going to be a little disturbance that rolls through here for, let's see here, pretty much late tomorrow. As we approach our way into tomorrow evening, we're actually going to have a little disturbance, a bit of precipitation rolling through the Ohio Valley, out there towards like Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, out there towards like Michigan could get a bit of precipitation. Now, upper Michigan, for the upper state, you guys might be associated with a bit of snowfall. So, if you pay attention to the upper portion of Michigan here, yeah, y'all might be in store for a bit of snow. Here's GFS here. Here's Euro. Euro's kind of showing a bit of a, yeah, mostly just snow for the interior portions. Along the coastlines, it stays a bit warmer due to the influences of the warm water surrounding it. Let's see here, and of course, like CMC models. So yeah, there is snow in the forecast here. Let's look and see how much we're talking for that. Let's see here, precipitation. I don't think this has it. Actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna pull up this area here, and we're gonna look at the NAM model. We actually have mid-range model support for this little thing here. We'll do total snow accumulation. Here we go. Yeah, so there you go. So, we could pick up a good amount of snowfall for the upper portion here of Michigan out of this little clipper here. I mean, we're talking possibly a good 4 to 8 inches or so, maybe locally higher amounts possible up there towards like the upper portion, especially the interior areas here of like upper Michigan. So that is something to look out for. That'll actually fall here. It looks like a lot of that's going to start to fall here basically for the 25th. So that'll be there for tomorrow. Kind of tomorrow afternoon, late tomorrow morning, we'll start to get some snow rolling through. But yeah, those upper elevations out there, we actually could pick up a pretty decent amount of snowfall overall. What's up, Andy? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Raka? Hope you're doing good, my friend. But yeah, so we'll definitely watch out. If you guys, if y'all live out there, if you know anybody out there, then give them the heads up. Let them know that there will be a little bit of snow out there towards that region here. Here's GFS here. GFS suggests, let's see here, locally like 3 to 5, maybe some upwards of 8 inches or so possible in some localized areas here. Euro ECMWF here suggests possibly upwards of 5 inches or so. We'll have to see. Honestly, between what the models are suggesting, a good like 4 to 6 inches locally, greater amounts quite likely could occur in some of these areas here. So I mean that is a decent amount of snowfall. That's not necessarily an extreme amount like we've seen the other day with feet of snow, but it's a decent amount of snowfall that we could expect out there. All right, now let's go ahead and hop our way over here back to the mid-Atlantic and stuff like that. So it is a little early regarding the expected accumulations and stuff like that. Here's a little example of, like I said, the lake effect snow that could carry on after that low passes, after that storm rolls through. We'll have that cold air coming down, which will be interacting with the warm waters of the Great Lakes. That could really accumulate some heavy stuff. Now, obviously, to be precise, it's way, way too early. So don't take those accumulations too seriously. But, I mean, honestly, it could lead to something similar. I would not be surprised if we ended up with, maybe several inches, if not feet of snow at some point, which we'll definitely look at that. So that's GFS here. We're hopping back to Euro. Overall, I mean, yeah, you can see Euro, no joke, dude. Euro showing absolutely no joke, several feet of snow. But remember, that's a little ways away down the line. But, just the way of the dynamics and stuff like that, with that cold air rolling over the warm Great Lakes and everything, I really do think that could really be a possible concern for you folks out there. So once again, if you know anybody out there near Cleveland, just generally northeastern Ohio, towards the lakeside, also up there towards like the northwestern side of Pennsylvania and western New York state here. If you know anybody out there, just tell them, to watch the weather, because, there's going to be that shot. There's going to be that possibility out there where we could see, possibly a bit of heavy snowfall and, several days worth of accumulation from the lake effect snow. Let's see here. Is it coming for Arkansas? No. So Arkansas is fine. There's nothing on the way for Arkansas. So everything is looking good there. Not really expecting much out in that general area. Let's see here. Yeah, honestly, for you guys, like I mentioned, we're actually watching a bit of severe weather, like I was pointing out here. I don't know if Arkansas will be directly involved. I don't think Arkansas will be. We'll have to see, though. But, eventually, as we did work our way down in time here, let's see here. Let me bring this back. Yeah, so like I mentioned, as we work our way out here towards Thanksgiving overall, for the afternoon and the evening of Thanksgiving, we could have enough instability, enough fuel in the atmosphere to allow for, like I mentioned, a pretty good shot for maybe some severe weather. Now, there's enough instability, enough fuel in the atmosphere to allow for that to happen. The lower level winds here are capable of, keeping storms relatively organized and stuff like that, especially our mid-level winds. We got our jet stream just ripping across the south here. Is that a big trough, I'm assuming? Let's look at that. That's interesting. So we have a little bit of a trough going on here, a bit of a dip, but our jet stream, I believe that is actually our tropical jet here that's kind of rolling over. Regardless, really increasing those lower level winds out there. Pretty crazy. Do I think December will be cold and stormy? So, in my winter forecast I put out a while back, I mentioned that I really think you folks towards the Gulf Coast could be in for a pretty stormy winter. Not necessarily snow, but more like severe weather. I do think that is a possibility. Honestly, we'll definitely need to just keep an eye out there for that, as I do think we could have some late season severe weather potential. Let's see. Christian says, so what you're saying is that it will not coming for Arkansas. So if it rains, it will freeze to ice before freezing temps. So Arkansas, regarding what we can expect out here, let's go ahead and bring up our simulated reflectivity. Whenever it comes to Arkansas, honestly, there's not going to be heavy enough precipitation to really do anything crazy. Now, temperature-wise, eventually we will, briefly get into the freezing point here. I mean, look at this really, really nasty shot of cold air. But yeah, for out there, we're going to be breaching into the freezing point here for Friday morning. But, at that point in time, there's really not going to be a lot of heavy precipitation overall. We're lucky if we even pick up a tenth or 2/10 of an inch of rainfall. So not enough to really do anything. Anyways. So yeah, no concerns at all for Arkansas. Your area is looking pretty good overall. Thanks, Peachy. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. And now, obviously, the South, according to so this is the GFS model here. Let's hop to the southeastern U.S. So according to GFS here, we might be in store for a pretty good amount of rainfall out there. Towards like Alabama, Georgia, North and South Carolina. We could pick up possibly, an inch or so, which, isn't an absurd amount of snow, is not an absurd amount of rainfall, but, could bring a little bit of precipitation to the region. Euro here, a little bit less, not showing as much. You'll be lucky if you breach an inch or so in some spots. Let's see here. But yeah, so a little bit of a disagreement there between that. But, we are going to be seeing a bit of precipitation down in the South. We desperately need it, though. I mean, shoot, it is absolutely, here, let's see. We're going to bring up our drought monitor. It is absolutely dry. I mean, these areas obviously had Helene that rolled through, obviously, earlier in the year, where Helene went up and just brought a whole bunch of nasty flooding to really these regions here. They're already back into the abnormally dry stage, which means that, they're not necessarily in a full developed drought, but they're in a area where it's just dry. So it is dry again out there, despite all of that rainfall we saw. I mean, now we are back in the dry status. But this could be good, for folks in the South. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of areas, especially out there by like Alabama and like Mississippi. Those areas are in the drought. Those areas, is in the drought here overall. So that could be beneficial. Also, we have a really bad drought going on out there towards southeastern Ohio, also like West Virginia. Now, you guys are in for a really nasty drought. Y'all haven't really been seeing much of any precipitation. It's been super, super below normal precip. It's been extremely dry. We have a big old drought going out there towards like West Virginia and like southeastern Ohio. Midwest, a little dry, a little bit of a drought going on overall. And of course, we do have a pretty strong drought out there towards like, western sides of the Dakotas and like eastern Montana. Got a bit of a heavy drought going on out there. Also western Texas there too. Overall. But yeah, so it is very dry, in which, obviously any precipitation for some of these areas would be great, would be very, very beneficial. What's up, Jess? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. But yeah, so we'll be watching that. It necessarily won't cure those drought conditions, but it will definitely help ease them a bit. It's not going to necessarily fully cure it overall. So we'll definitely watch it. We'll definitely keep you guys posted on this. And, there still is a little bit of things that we're kind of waiting to see here. Overall, let's go and hop our way back up here to the northeast view overall. So this is kind of our main thing regarding like winter weather, what we're kind of watching here. It's this winter storm. This is for the 28th, which will be for Thanksgiving. So not only will there be potential winter weather going on, like we mentioned, but there's also going to be that shot also for the 28th, where we could have some instability available in the atmosphere for Thanksgiving, to the point where we could see maybe some severe weather out there. The jet stream will be strong enough to keep storms organized, keep everything, relatively good and going. So, out there by Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, some of those folks out there in the deep South, we could see some severe weather. Possibly rolling in for Thanksgiving Day. That'll roll through Yeah, so at this point, this is for the evening of Thanksgiving. There will be some instability, which could develop some thunderstorms, and we'll have to see about severe weather. But that is that. Just says Northeast Ohio here. Where are you at now? Florida? Yes, I'm in Florida. I live in Polk County, which is like Central Florida. Let's see here. But you're in Northeast Ohio. I got something to tell you, my friend. You're going to need to watch out. Depends on how northeast you are. On the system here, there could be a lot of lake effect snow that could build in. So that's one of the things I also really want to pay attention to, guys, is, after this winter weather episode potentially rolls through, at that point, there will be a lot of cold air coming down, which could allow for, a lot of lake effect snow to occur, a lot of snow generated from the Great Lakes. So, for example, that cold air rolls over the warm Great Lakes, but then, generates a lot of, snowfall due to the temperature differential and stuff like that. So the Great Lakes are warm. The air that's going over the Great Lakes is cold. That condenses and just basically starts a snow generator that just really, dumps a lot of snow out there. That could be towards far up northeastern Ohio, like northwestern Pennsylvania, western New York State. I really do believe that, we could have a really good shot, for lake effect snow after the storm here. And like I mentioned, it's not necessarily just one model. That was Euro we were looking at. This is the GFS. You can also see suggesting that heavy lake effect too. Then you got CMC, which, CMC also really shows that as well. And then, of course, lastly, Icon, which we have a new run coming through now. But on the Icon model here that rolls through, you can see that, we do get that lake effect snow that kicks off there as well. So it is all models. It's not necessarily just one model. That's a thing in meteorology. You got to not necessarily focus on what one model suggests, but more of essentially what they agree on, what all the models agree on. And all the models do agree on the fact that we're going to get a lot of heavy snowfall. Obviously too early to tell exactly how much snow we're going to be getting out there, regarding essentially, overall accumulations. It's just a little too early. But, regarding how these lake effect snow events work, I would not be surprised if we did see upwards of a foot, if not more, than 1 feet. I mean, we'll have to see. But once again, it's a little bit early to be for sure. We'll definitely keep you guys posted and everything like that. But anyways, so that's that. Let's go ahead and hop over here to the main U.S. side of things here. We're going to hop our way to the mainland U.S. So this is basically the overall picture here of kind of what we got going on for the next little bit. So obviously today, not a whole lot going on here. Actually, I'll take a moment to show you guys current radar real quickly just to kind of show you what we're looking like currently. Really not a whole lot going on. We have a little bit of precipitation remaining across the Pacific Northwest, a bit of rain for the lower elevations. Those upper elevations still receiving a bit of snowfall currently. We do got some snow out here towards, the upper elevations out there, near like Wyoming, out there by like Utah, Montana. We got a little bit of stuff going on out there. The Northeast is calming down. We had that strong low that brought some snow, towards the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast here over the last little bit. That's starting to clear out a bit overall. Really not a lot of, essentially not really a lot of anything going on out there right now. Michael, please keep religion out of the chat. I mean, this is strictly strictly a weather channel, not a religion channel. So please keep it just to the on point. Okay. Anyways, but you're welcome, Jess. No problem, my friend. But yeah, we're just gonna keep it on the topic of weather. Okay. But yeah, so that's basically what's going on here overall. Is we just got ourselves a little bit of that going on out there. But yeah, let's hop on back over here, back to the overall view. So like I mentioned, overall, we work our way further down in time, and we do get ourselves another little disturbance that does kick its way up here towards like the Midwest and stuff like that. And like we mentioned, this actually will be bringing a little bit of this actually will be bringing a little bit of snowfall for my folks up there towards like the upper portion of Michigan. So that is going to take place here for right around the 25th. So that's actually tomorrow. So tomorrow, we're actually going to be seeing ourselves a bit of snowfall out there overall. Let's see here. So yeah, we will be seeing a bit of snowfall out there towards those upper elevations here of, the upper portions of Michigan overall. And like we mentioned, overall, we could see the possibility here of, maybe a good several inches of snowfall. Here, let's actually hop our way back up to the north here. We're going to show you guys what's going on out there. So hop into GFS here. So overall, the models were kind of showing us being in the realm of, possibly a good upwards of 5 inches or so, 3 to 5 inches, locally higher amounts being possible. You can see, we definitely could have some locally high amounts. I mean, we're talking several inches of snow being possible in some regions here. GFS shows the majority of upper elevation. Sorry, I keep on saying upper elevation. Upper portion of Michigan to be seeing, majority a good, 2 to 4 inches locally higher amounts. So that's that. Then we got ourselves Euro here. Euro showing a good 3 to 5 inches out there. Locally higher amounts there possible. So this will be taking place tomorrow, actually. So you folks up there in the upper portion of Michigan, we'll be starting to see some snow tomorrow. This is not the main storm we were talking about, though, regarding, Thanksgiving and stuff. It's still a little early to be for sure, to tell accumulations for Thanksgiving. There still is a little bit of things that the models do not agree on right now. But we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. Let's see here. How's Northern Ohio looking for snow next week? So for you, my friend, honestly, I am keeping a close eye out there for Ohio. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you're here or not. But, you folks up there towards like coastal, like northeastern Ohio, towards the coast of the Great Lakes here, we could be dealing with a big time lake effect snow event here. It's still not 100%, sure of, how severe it's going to get. But according to models here, according to all the models here, let's go ahead and bring back up our, let's see, actually, we'll go ahead and bring up our precipitation type and stuff like that. So this is the, we'll start with the Euro again. So yeah, European model here, as you can see, as that storm rolls through, this is for the 28th, which that is for Thanksgiving. We could have a bit of winter weather going on up there, probably more interior portions of New England, a bit of just mostly normal rainfall out there towards like the coastal side of New England, as it is a bit warmer, as there is more of a warmer influence from the waters, from the ocean out there overall. So here's the thing. We work our way past the storm, and shortly after that storm rolls through, as that cold air starts shooting down from up north, that will allow for that that cold air to rub over the warm Great Lakes, and at that point, that will allow for, a lot of snow to really start piling up there towards, those coastal areas. It could even be a possible concern up there towards, Michigan as well. Not necessarily just, areas up there towards northeast Ohio or, western New York State or like northwestern Pennsylvania. But yeah, it also could be a concern up there towards, Michigan as well. We'll definitely have to look out there for that. So that's Euro. That's the ECMWF here. Then we hop over to GFS, which is the American long-range model here. Now, there's a little bit of a different approach here regarding the storm for the 28th for Thanksgiving. The latest GFS has seriously changed since the last time we talked about this yesterday overall. In which you can see we do have ourselves, a lot of heavy rainfall and stuff like that. Overall, rolling through the mid-Atlantic and everything. So honestly, when it comes to it, not a whole lot of, honestly, really not a whole lot of winter weather according to the latest GFS, but, we'll have to see how that plays out. Anyways, but yeah, so then of course that, once again, that lake effect snowfall will be there. This is actually leading the day after Thanksgiving, which could really start to accumulate some snowfall out there towards those coastal areas, which could be a big concern. Then of course we have the CMC model, which you can see CMC obviously going pretty aggressive with the lake effect. Once again, possibly Michigan involved there too, coastal areas of Ohio, Pennsylvania, out there by areas like, New York State and whatnot. Really could be picking up quite a bit of accumulation. Once again, maybe in the feet. We'll have to see. It's just a little too early to tell for sure. But then, of course, lastly, we got the icon, which that new model's coming through. But yeah, you can see the icon showing that happening there as well, overall. So, we'll definitely be watching that. It's really all of the models that are kind of on board there. It's not necessarily just, it's really not necessarily just the GFS or the Euro that's agreeing on it, but no, it's GFS, Euro, Icon, and CMC. 4 out of the 4 models we suggested or that we looked at show that suggestion of that there will be a good amount of lake effect snow out there. So I really do think that that's going to be something that we're going to also need to look out for. Here's Icon's opinion on this upcoming winter storm here. As you can see, this is actually for the 28th. This model shows it a little bit more lagged behind than other models like the Euro, showing it happening a little bit later. Kind of showing that that snow starting to occur here for basically the 29th. Throughout the morning hours and stuff like that of the 29th, we could start to really pick up some snowfall. Especially out there towards, northern Pennsylvania, more of like interior New York State, like Vermont, New Hampshire, and then eventually Maine, which should be out for right around the 30th. But then, like I mentioned at that point, that's when that lake effect snow is going to start to take over, from that cold air that's working its way down from the north. So, it's really a lot of things we got to look out for. And then once again, also, monitoring a severe weather potential as well in the south, could be a possibility. Let's see here, as we do pull up our GFS model here, and we pull up the instability and stuff, as we work our way down in time, we could have that energy that builds up, that potential instability that builds into the region, which could allow for some storms and perhaps maybe even some severe weather. I mean, our mid-level winds and stuff like that are actually really strong. This is our mid-level jet stream. Our mid-level winds are ripping from the west to the east very, very quickly. So this is like mid-atmospheric winds overall. And then lower atmospheric winds here are a little bit weaker, but they are still moving relatively linear in the same direction, mostly east, from west to east here. Not necessarily anything concerning, I don't think, for like heavy tornadic activity, but we'll have to continue to monitor that. We'll see how that plays out. But honestly, I mean, it looks like it could be maybe a line of storms that could develop out there. That does seem like a possibility. The models that we have available to us, like the GFS we're looking at right now, is still in the long range phase, meaning that the the resolution of future radar is extremely poor, basically due to the fact that it is, a longer range model, not necessarily looking at, preciseness, but more of like the overall general outlook. So yeah, we could have a line of storms that does develop right there, pretty much, for Thanksgiving, the 28th overall, that is a possibility. So we'll have to monitor that. And at that point as well, we're going to have those dew point temperatures. You can see this big bubble here of dew points in the 60s. It's going to be pretty warm. It's going to be pretty nice out. Temperatures here across the way will be in the 70s, upper 60s, lower 70s. Really not bad. Pretty nice conditions if you ask me out there. But then, shortly after, that cold front's going to roll through, and that's just going to allow things to get cold once again. So... And of course, that's another thing we got to talk about too. I mean, is this also this really big cool down here? I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, look at this big wave of Arctic air that rolls through. Like I mentioned beforehand, we could be breaching into the negatives up there in the north. Let's actually zoom in a little bit up here towards the northern plains here. As you can see, this is like negative 14 degrees. I mean, we're talking some really, really cold temperatures, but don't take that precisely, but according to GFS and other models too, I mean, we could really be breaching into some really cold temps. Euro here honestly agrees as well, showing us well into the negatives overall. So that's going to be a really cold shot of a really cold shot of air overall. And like we also mentioned, regarding precipitation and stuff like that, we have that lake effect snow. Once that cold air goes over the warm Great Lakes, then it starts generating that snowfall, which could lead to quite a bit of quite a bit of accumulations and stuff like that towards those coastlines, especially of like northeastern Ohio, like northwestern Pennsylvania, western portions here of New York State. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted. But anyways, y'all, if y'all have any final questions before I roll off here, let me know, because we're getting ready to head off here. But we'll do some more updates and stuff like that later today, y'all. I'm going to be going live again sometime, probably around like a little bit after noon, probably around 2 or 3 o'clock or so. We'll go live, and then I might do another live stream this evening too. I'm also going to put up a YouTube short around 12, just getting a general update of the weather and stuff like that. But if you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you guys can stay on top of the weather. We'll keep you guys updated with, whatever weather event goes on here. We cover the whole U.S., or I should say the 48 main states we cover, and everything like that, from the tropics to winter weather to severe weather, we cover it. So if you'd be interested in coverages and not only coverages, but forecasts and just, the general overview of things, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Be greatly appreciated. See you later, Jess. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. See, I want either coffee or hot cocoa, which I get. I've been wanting some hot cocoa lately. I think I'm going to get me some here soon. All right, everybody. Y'all take care. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you guys later on for another update. All righty. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining. Big shout out goes to MP for the donations today, my friend. We hit our goal. Thank you so much, MP. Appreciate that, man. If you're still here, appreciate it. You're welcome, Tom. No problem, man. You have a good day. And alrighty, everybody. Thanks for joining. You guys take care, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.